Welcome to the 32nd episode of Interview with Professor Franz Ruppert. And this time round, we are doing it in Singapore. So welcome to Singapore, Professor Franz, once again.
Okay, thank you.
And today's topic, we want to talk about healthy relationships, Part 1. We focus on couples.
Yeah. Maybe the first thing is that there should be adult.
Oh, okay, of course. Yeah.
not act out of their childhood
Yes.
Parts. But this is not something that is for granted, yeah. Because normally we learn relationships in early times. We learn our relationships in the relationship with our mother, and later on with the father, maybe sometimes with the grandparents or some siblings. But these are unconscious imprints how we behave in relationships, and normally we continue repeating these patterns, relational patterns in our couple relationships. So it's in a way very often that we behave like children in couple relationships.
Yeah. They tell each other they're like kids.
Yeah, and especially if it comes to emotions and it comes to conflicts, then we somehow act similar as we have learned it in childhood. And so of course we need to find ways to really be in our healthy parts.
Okay.
We do have them, but we have to activate them. We have to be aware, and we have in conflicts, if there are conflicts, we have to be aware that there could be perpetrator-victim dynamics. And then for one thing is, one very important thing is to stop it immediately, yeah?
Okay.
Not to continue with this perpetrator-victim dynamic, but to say, okay, now we are in the moment where I have reached a point where it doesn't work to argue any longer or to
fight any longer.
So it's better to stop it now. Let's come down, and start again and see what is the real issue and what we have and what our interests and so on. So it needs to stay in a healthy couple relationship for a longer time. It really needs to work hard on yourself,
Okay.
and similar, not to engage you too much in those endless discussions we know from our relationship with our parents.
When you talk about endless discussions, what do you mean?
Yeah, it doesn't lead to anything. Yeah, that you have.
Right. Just talk and no results.
Talk and talk and have expectation. The other person should be like this or like this.
Right.
The only thing that you can do in such a situation, look at yourself and say, what can I do? What can I change myself in order to have less perpetrator-victim dynamics with my partner.
You mentioned something very interesting earlier. You said the healthy parts is not activated yet. So you mean we can just activate the healthy parts?
Yeah, the healthy part is realistic. For example, if you say, "Oh, you don't never pay any attention to me," or you never show me your love or whatever, it's not true, because the other person in her way, in their style, they do something, and they pay attention to you, but maybe for you it's not enough, and then it's can become maybe very unrealistic what you expect from your partner, and so that one thing is that our healthy parts are realistic, They also see that a couple relationship is something that develops over the years, and when you always in a different state of your relationship, and the relationships are they change over the years, and to be realistic and to see this that the first phase when you fall in love it's different from
honeymoon
the phase,
period.
When there are children, and when
it's totally different.
It's absolutely totally different. And so healthy relationship means always being realistic about what's possible and what's not possible.
You just maybe give a very practical example about victim and perpetrator dynamics in the relationship. Because most couples actually say that, oh, you know, in a relationship it's very normal to just fight and quarrel. It's very normal to argue, you know. If you don't argue, that is not normal. So what are your thoughts for that?
Of course, there are always some conflicts you will have, and that means you have different interests. The one person wants to do this and the other has another intention. So this is, of course, it's normal to not to be always on the same level of interests, but there are sometimes conflicts that are minimal things, and the one thing, can you close the door? And they're saying, I want to have the door open, and just starting and feeling like a victim. My partner makes me a victim. Then I think now I have to defend myself, and then I start to be a perpetrator, and the other person then says, okay, you're perpetrating me, and so it's very easily can come to escalations, and so this is important that we stop it as soon as we realize it and say what it's all about.
True. Like very obvious power struggle kind of scenarios.
Yeah.
I've got one very funny example. They said, you know, the wife said the husband must wash his feet before he goes to bed. Otherwise he cannot go to bed. And they argue over the washing of feet. So it's a lot of rules that they get to set, and you must follow the rules.
If you're trying to do it with rules, then you're already on this path of this dynamic. If you said, this is my need, I would like you to do this, and
to meet the need,
then it's more for the other person. It's easier to say, okay, when this is your desire, it's your need, I do you the favor. Because when the experience that we have to obey rules, we know from our childhood, we don't want to be treated by our partner as a child. And we oppose against this.
Many people ask in this community, then it's like if you do not find a partner just to meet your needs, or you do not find a partner just to have as a company, like a companion, then what do you want to find a partner for then? You mentioned that, it's like if you put your needs on your partner and then it's not healthy, right? Then you expect the partner to meet that need or expectation. So if we put away all these, what then is the meaning to a couple relationship? No meeting of needs, not supporting each other, not there to support each other, or not there to help each other, or not there to heal each other, then what then is the meaning to a couple relationship?
In fact,
sexual, maybe just for the sexual
sexual interest, maybe.
Interest,
Out from my experiences and the trauma biography, the moment people split off themselves from the I and the want, and then you go into surviving mode and say, the relationship, now I am relationship, and always need a relationship. You can't stay for yourself. If you're not traumatized on the level of the trauma of identity, there is not such an urge for relationships. Because relationships then are surviving strategies in order not to come into contact with your life experience of not being wanted, and there is so much pain you have to avoid, and so a relationship also can be an avoiding strategy.
To find a partner,
to find a partner in order to avoid the pain for being confronted with yourself.
All right, so you just confront the other the partner instead of confronting yourself.
Instead, you confront.
Find fault with the other partner.
Fight with the other in order to avoid your pain.
Okay.
It's also it's one of the reasons we fight in the outside in order to avoid the contact with ourselves. And this is then this is the reason why so many partnerships are they have a lot of conflicts, but they cannot separate, and they even can't say why they stay together. Well, what is the reason why they're staying together?
Because they like each other?
No, I think what the real reason is, if I'm alone, I am afraid that I'm confronted with my pain of being left alone as a child, and so I'm always seeking for a companion, even if it's a bad companion, but it's better than being
no companion
and being alone. And
that could be the reason behind the high divorce rate. Even here in Singapore.
The high divorce rate doesn't mean that people stay alone. They divorce and then maybe immediately they have already
Another
another partner. Yeah,
Divorce after divorce.
yeah, they have already somebody who is a substitute for, and then they divorce in order and have the illusion with the next partner it will be different, but it won't be. Normally it won't be different. Yeah? Whenever there are conflicts in a couple of relationships, the best thing is to first of all to look at yourself. Why I'm in this situation? What does it mean, and what is my experience behind?
Okay, so then can you just give maybe a simple example about two couples, very healthy? What would that be like for them to come together?
One thing is that you find the other person attractive,
Okay.
to find it interesting what this person can show you. We all want love, and we want to be loved, yeah? And so we want to share it. We want
Okay.
It's very natural. It's very natural that we
Like do an equal exchange.
that we want to give our love and affection to another person, and at the same time receive the love. It's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so it should be like a healthy two-way.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Give and take.
That you, in a way, you have with your relationship, you have an opportunity of getting into emotional contact that you don't have in other relationships. There can be a format like this, that you have a seminar where both of them are participating,
Okay.
and then you can observe the process of your partner, and he can observe your processes, and then it is a good way to learn more about the other person, because normally when you meet, normally people do not tell so much about the past.
You're right.
They just want to, in the moment, have good picture, produce a good picture from themselves, and looking healthy and strong, and so. But after a while, all these patterns from the past will show up, and it's better for you if you understand where your partner comes from, what he suffered from his childhood, and vice versa. You can be open to show your partner what your background is, and this can deepen your relationship. And this can
it's so easy. It's much easier that way, isn't it? Like there's so much truth.
Yeah, because
there's
if this is with our method, it's a very it forces you to be true, be honest, and so you can share it. You can share it with your partner.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So what happens if one partner is not interested and the other partner is interested to work on themselves? So
it's really difficult. Yeah.
Difficult?
It's really difficult if the one partner is say, okay, I want to look at my problems, and the other say,
the other say no problem.
It's all about it. It does. You can't do it forever. Yeah? There will come the moment where the one person that wants to progress says it's not possible.
Really?
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And of course you can't force your partner. You can just ask him and give good reasons, but in the end you can't force anybody to look at.
Of course.
Look at your own issues.
I have a client the other day, and the wife said, if you don't want me to divorce you, you have to come and do therapy.
No,
it becomes a condition.
No. If you put the other person under pressure, then he won't do it.
Maybe he just do it just for the sake of doing it. Yes.
It's something that we also have to learn. What is a relationship? A relationship is something that's mutual, but it's not that you are the institution that can the other person force to do something, or the authority. No, if you want to have a relationship in a healthy way, it's just equality. That you are equal to the other. You are not the father. You are not the mother. You are not some in a higher position. You are just like the other.
Equal.
Yeah.
On equal grounds.
Yeah.
You don't talk to each other like as if you know more, or judging, or being in a critical position.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, and of course, I have one couple who is also doing these works, and then somehow they kind of, because we understand these works, they kind of have more common grounds. They have more common things to talk about. Yeah. So talking about their each other's trauma biography, yeah, then becomes their very interesting topics to explore. So they somehow actually get to argue less. Very interesting actually.
Not forcing and expecting something from the other person that he can't give you.
Yeah.
Because normally it is the logic is I want something from my partner that I didn't get from my father or my mother. Yeah. And that's
Is this always the case?
Most time in this case, you feel you have not got enough love from your mother,
love
and attention,
yes.
and then you want to have it from your partner. And this does not work. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not possible. It's
care. Not enough care. Not enough nurturing.
And for me, in general, to say what is healthy. Healthy is that you learn what is possible, and surviving is you always tried something that is impossible, a mission impossible.
Yes, mission impossible.
And that we have to learn.
Okay. Yeah. Then you have to be
that makes life much more easy.
Right.
If you make this distinction, I do what is possible, and I do not invest any energy or time or money in something that is impossible to reach.
So you're talking about setting overly high expectations.
Yeah.
So that should be the first thing that we need to kind of be aware of, of what kind of expectations we're setting.
Be realistic. It's realistic that you can change yourself, but you can't change the other person.
Right.
It is something that the other person has to do herself.
Some then may ask, what then is like a safe boundary for the relationship if we don't set any basic expectation? Like for example, like a basic expectation, like you should not have an affair, you should be loyal, things like that. Is that too much to ask for?
No,
like an expectation.
But it is normal. It's a normal agreement. What do we want? And if both agree that there should be external loyalty and no other sexual partners, then you have to. If you agree with this, then you say I agree, and not secretly doing something else. That kills everyone.
Right.
If you betray another person and this person loses trust in you, then this is the end of any partnership.
Yes, always the case. Always the case. Okay, so thank you, Franz, for sharing. And I really feel there's so much more to explore. Every video interview we talk about, also personal issues and also understanding more about ourselves. So really that is the way to go. So thank you for tuning in and understanding a little bit more about what is healthy relationship means. And first, start with ourselves, right?
Of course. That's possible.
Yes, of course, yes.
That's possible.
Yeah, so please tune in for our Part 2 relationship series, and and if you are interested to find out more about the method of IOPT, please feel free to write to me, and also share the video with other couples who's going to be interested in improving their relationship, or drop me a note to see how this video has applied to you practically in your life. So till we meet again, bye bye.